Well, a very good morning, everybody, for Thursday, the 10th of September. It's been a while since I've worked a Thursday, but I'm on my normal roster now. So here we are, a good day at last. Sort of high pressure, just has been trying to put a slight ridge over us, but as you can see, there's no real centre to it. The cold fronts that sort of has been, and the fronts have been causing us problems over the last couple of days and bringing all that annoying moisture and low level cloud has gone through at last. Has left some remnants, and we can see that outside with some stratoQ at the moment. But as the sun starts to heat up, we should get a reasonable day out of it. The wind's now not so predominantly westerly. They're now more of a light north-northeasterly, as we can see at the moment. So thanks to those of you who got up early and went on the correct runway. I'm pleased you didn't go on 09, because we don't like operating that way if we can avoid it. So yeah, slack winds over the UK, not particularly too much in the way of isobars. And a good couple of days before we start getting more under the influence of some fronts again, and it starts to get a bit warmer into next week. Those winds are, as you can see, sort of mostly going to be variable today. As it starts off as a northeasterly, it will probably end up by the time you come back being a northwesterly. Try and avoid any runway changes if possible, but the wind chart is showing somewhere in the region of around any direction you want, no more than 5 to 10 knots. The satellite picture shows a bit more moisture up towards sort of the Birmingham and the West Midlands and into Wales. David and I were just talking, and potentially a slightly lower inversion up towards there. It's good. I'll show you the Chilbolton, the Larkhill sounding in a moment, which does show an inversion at 5,000 feet, and potentially that inversion slightly lower to the north. But yeah, some residual moisture to get away, and hopefully just the element of there being some moisture up there might mean it's not going to be as blue as some of the models are suggesting. The upper level clouds is not particularly too much. If I look outside at the moment, yeah, it's all just sort of medium level, which is nice. And the public forecast is showing north-northeasterly, becoming northwesterly as the day goes on. Looking at temperatures, well, the public forecast is showing somewhere in the region of about 17 degrees, and that's broadly in line with the GFS as well, probably 18 degrees. And dew points a lot lower than we have seen in the last couple of days, down into single figures. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 12.5 and a dew point of 7.5. And there's the Larkhill sounding. We can see that there's a reasonable inversion at 5,000 feet, which is trapping that, that cloud up there. But that should hopefully start to warm up, sort of trigger temperature of around sort of 16 degrees, start getting that going. Yes, risk of a number of areas being blue today. Currently at Lasham, if I look out the window, that's what we can see. You can just see some of this medium level cloud, a little bit of higher level stuff, but that is starting to become less of an issue. The potential flight distance today looks like that, which is not to be sniffed at for September. Good out in towards the West Country, up into the Midlands, if that's a bit clears up. Yeah, sort of, it is good over a large area. Probably one of the last good big days of the year. And if I look at 11 o'clock, maybe not quite going at that point, but by 12 o'clock starting to get going. Locally initially probably 3 to 3,500 feet blue shallow Q, maybe seeing some more evidence of cumulus as the day goes on. That's sort of 1, 2 o'clock. And that is showing about 3,500 to 4,000 feet above Lasham, and this afternoon we should probably see 4,000 to 4,500 feet above Lasham. Slightly better, more cumulus, potentially down towards Liss, Petersfield area, but generally fingers crossed that we, based on the soundings, we do get a little bit more in the way of moisture to allow some cumulus. Cut off today, if we look at cut off, still going at 5 o'clock, and even still going at 6 o'clock from the right direction, but the sun goes down very quickly now. So yeah, probably back no later than 5:30, if 6 o'clock if you're feeling brave. Okay, cloud distribution as well, just give you an idea. As you can see, as I run through the day, bits of cumulus that will come near us. I think there'll be more than this, fingers crossed. But yeah, cumulus more to the south, and maybe less so to the north and out towards Cambridgeshire. Better as you get past Oxford. Site forecast is showing very similar. It's showing the heights being a bit lower, but 4,000 feet and sort of a medium strength thermals and sort of variable winds on the ground. This is showing more of an easterly, but Met Office was showing more westerly later in the day. Okay, as I said, that was the sounding for Lark Hill at 6 o'clock, and I'll just show you a couple of soundings from later. Predicted. Western Zoo at 12 o'clock. Does show a little bit more in the way of cloud, and that's showing up to about 3,500 feet at 12 o'clock with a temperature of about 19 degrees and a dew point of about 11. Look at Buckingham at 2 o'clock. Maybe a smidge degree lower or so, 18, 19. Bit of more of a spread between the temperature and dew point lines, but not significantly so that it should be that blue, I would hope. But sort of 4,000 feet there. Similar at, where is this? This is Fairford at 2 o'clock. Again, maybe just a smidge higher than 4,000 feet. And Lark Hill at 3 o'clock. Lines are a little bit flatter, so you get quite a big split here and a bit more of a noticeable inversion there. But yeah, reasonable across a large portion of the country. Farnborough are currently showing we should get a few clouds at 4,800 feet, so they're sharing the optimism. Just mind out for the Class E airspace. And yeah, showing northeasterly winds at the moment, but rather variable at the moment. Okay, airspace. A few things to consider today. Right, the usual bits and bobs at Boscombe. We'll just have a look what they've got down there. Eversley and I imagine Bulford's. Oh no, we've got fly past as well. So Eversley danger area active all day. Fly past at Boscombe down between 5:10 and 6:10, basically. That's 2,500 feet over the airfield. I think you'd be rather unlucky to get caught up in that. We have no TAMs for today. Thankfully, the stars have aligned and I've managed to get in contact with the lovely people at Gatwick, and they've sorted out the NOTAM, and we've notified up to 75 gliders and 5 tugs. Might be a bit more, might be a bit less, but that's one of our mitigations that we use. Paragliding across a large part of the country, even at South Cerney. So some of these obviously got the grass mower out, but yeah, South Cerney was showing paragliding up to 2,000 feet, but yeah, they'll get higher than that. Fairford's active as well. That's active all day. Remember B-52s. And while we're on the discussion of that area, I am aware between about 4 and 4:30 local, there'll be a BA 747 going into Kemble, in from Cardiff. So my advice, if you're in that Fairford, Kemble area, in mid to late afternoon, is just keep your eyes out. You might see quite a lot of interesting aeroplanes in the Class G. 36, I imagine, is more paragliding. Yes. So sometimes I wish I could switch paragliding off on these filters. 37 and 40. Fly past in Bedfordshire. That's quite late though. And aerobatics at Little Granston still from all day. Some arts in the Wash, they're dropping some, or east of the Wash, they're dropping some articles. I don't think you're going to be going that far. 46, 44. Mill parachuting at Rutland Water, all from from lunchtime onwards to 4,000 feet, and fly past at Wittering as well. So something's obviously travelling about. Not too sure what it is. Not sure if it's BBMF or not. Yeah, other than that, there's not too much else to mention. Usual Solent, Boscombe and Farnborough areas active. Choose your transponder if you're going to go in the Class E. Okay, we are 2.7, at least at the moment. We'll get the grid launched on 2.7. There may be a change to 0.9 if it does not come back to northwesterly. Something very unusual happened today that 2XL actually asked me when that we could have a jet movement. I've suggested 1:30. It's going to be an EasyJet Airbus doing a circuit. Those of you that tuned in yesterday would have heard me mention it. It didn't go yesterday, so it's going to go today. The good thing is it can only obviously land when it's taken off. So yeah, if you are going to be coming back through this area early afternoon, then just keep an eye out for that. Come back onto our frequency. I'll point it out. It should do a south circuit and hopefully not above 2,500 feet to land back on 27. But yes, orange Airbus flying about. Fairly busy grids, should have loads and loads of tugs to throw at you. And if more of you can go on the grid, that'd be great. Better than probably winch launching today due to this slight tailwind. Other than that, if I could just remind you, especially given the new advice that will be coming into effect on Monday, that to keep your distance, please. We've got members of the public back at Lasham on Saturday with trial lessons and stuff. So we need to set a good impression. So please just keep the good work up. And I will see you on the grid very shortly. Bye for now.